What's up, everybody? So I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm not sure how it's gonna work, if it's gonna work, but been wanting to do this for some time. I am gonna try the what I watched in this month trend, I guess. I've seen a couple of YouTubers do it. The first person I saw do it was Possessed by Horror. I really enjoy her channel a lot. Sarah. She makes really good videos, most of which are centered around the horror genre. And I wanted to wait a little bit longer until I get my new laptop so that I could make a better video, but it's still going to be a little bit. And I didn't really want to put it off too much longer since it's almost August. And today I'm going to be sharing what I watched in May of 2021. So as you can see, it's a couple of months ago. I've been sitting on this for a little bit because like I said, I've seen some other people do it. I thought it'd be fun. So I've been, keeping a record of what I've been watching on my own and what my girlfriend and I have been watching. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And I'm wearing the hat today because I desperately need a haircut. So, like I said, we're going back to May of 2021. First off, we have Random Acts of Violence. This is a 2019 movie. My girlfriend and I were looking for something to watch. We couldn't really find anything we were in the mood for. We had Shudder at the time, so we clicked it over there. And if you don't know anything about, or you don't know about Shudder, they have the 3 different channels that just kind of plays, random. It's basically like having TV on. It just shows random movies in the 3 different kind of categories. And this one was showing, or was playing on one of them, and we kind of got, interested in it, and we ended up watching it. We watched almost the entire thing. So I count it, but it was all right. The ending was left something to be desired, but I mean, I guess it was interesting. It caught our attention. It kept us interested and wanting to see what happened. So I gave it a 2.5 star on Letterboxd. I am on there now as well, trying to remember to do that. You know, I'm really bad at rating things. Really, like I don't like really giving a star rating to things. Plus two, I mean that can kind of change. Your opinion can change, I guess, from viewing it one time to maybe a second viewing. But either way, next up we have Frankenhooker. This was another one that was on Shudder. It was playing on Shudder, and we were just couldn't find anything we were really in the mood for, and had put it over there. And Frankenhooker was playing, and we'd never seen it before. And I know that movie. I now know that movie has a cult following, but that movie sucked. That movie was awful. I gave it a half star because that's the lowest that you can rate it. It was bad. I mean, it was bad. So I don't know. Next up, we have Psychomania from 1973. This one here is funny. This has got a funny story behind it because my girlfriend had told me about this movie, Psychomania. Apparently, this movie when she had gone to visit her grandparents, they owned this movie on VHS, and she always begged to watch this movie every time she went to visit. And she said after watching it, she's like, I don't know why I always wanted to watch this movie. We enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. It was the first time I'd ever seen it. It was interesting. It held my interest. I wanted to continue watching to find out what happened and everything. So in that regard, it did what it was supposed to do. Not the best movie I've ever seen, but by far not the worst either. I gave it a 2.5 star. I maybe leaning toward a 3. Like I said, I mean it was the 70s, so you got to keep that in mind as well. But it was decent. Next up, we have Mortal Kombat, the 2021 remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. This movie I was so excited for. I'm one of the, I grew up in, like, I was a kid in the 90s, so when the original Mortal Kombat, well, when the games were out, I was a kid during that time, and like it was some of the, it was so, it was something we had never seen before. The blood and the violence and everything like that, the characters, the fatalities, all this stuff was so cool. And then whenever the movie came out, the movie was, no, it's not the best, and it really shows its age with the CGI and everything like that. But as a kid, that was our movie and we loved it. And I've always enjoyed that one. I've watched it a bunch of times over the years. It came on TBS frequently, or TNT sometimes. TBS, maybe TNT also. So I used to watch that a lot. Over and over again. So whenever they announced this new one, I was excited, but honestly I was disappointed. I'll be honest, I was disappointed with it. There was stuff I liked about it, but there was also a lot of stuff I didn't like about it. There was some lull in the middle. Not to spoil anything, but like when all the actual fighters were together in, the temple or whatever, and training, the bantering and stuff back and forth, it kind of lulled there in the middle, and it felt very much like, any other, modern movie. So, and trying to kind of shoehorn the comedy in there and stuff, when it didn't really call for it exactly. I don't know. I was just disappointed by it, honestly, and I keep saying honestly, I think. But I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. Because like I said, there was a lot that I enjoyed about it, but there was a lot I didn't enjoy about it. And the character of Cole is just useless, which seems to be kind of like a consensus of most of the people that watched the movie. They feel the same way. They thought Cole was a garbage character that brought nothing to it. Like, he was some new character that they wrote up to be in this movie, to be basically the main guy, and he was awful. He didn't bring anything to it. He had the worst power. He was a terrible character all around, and nothing against the actor, obviously, because I've never seen him in anything else. But yeah, that character was a lot of suck, and was just unnecessary and didn't need to be in the movie, or just needed to be better. I don't know, one or the other. So, all right, next up I have a rewatch, my first rewatch of May, and that is Lords of Dogtown from 2005. I've seen this a bunch of times, and I watched it a lot. I own it on DVD. And I've watched it quite a few times. I watched it a lot for a long time. It was like one of my favorite movies. Excuse me. But it was on Amazon Prime, and decided to give it a rewatch, and I loved it just as much as I ever did. Ended up giving it 4 stars on Letterboxd. It's got such a good cast. It's got Emile Hirsch back when he was, I think that this one might have been like his breakout role. I guess if you don't count Into the Wild. I think Into the Wild kind of got him on everyone's radar. But Lords of Dogtown, that was the first one that I remember seeing him in and really liking him as an actor, liking the character. It's got it's actually, and I didn't remember this, directed by the same woman who directed the first Twilight movie. And don't let that turn you off and say, "Oh God, that, that's not a signal that Lords of Dogtown is a bad movie." If you dislike, Twilight, it is a great movie. It is so good, and I think that's why I forget that that's the same director. So, either way, great movie. If you like skateboarding, if you want to know about the origins of skateboarding in the United States and everything, and also Heath Ledger is in it as well. Heath Ledger's one of the main guys. I cannot remember her name, but if you know Twilight, the actress that played Rosalie, she is also in it. So there's another Twilight connection. But again, it's a skateboarding movie. It's about a group of teenage guys skateboarding, partying, that kind of thing. So check it out if you're in that kind of thing, or look it up. Check out the trailer. It's a great movie. Very, very underrated movie. I don't hear anything about that movie anymore. Next up, we have another new watch, Demon Wind from 1990. This is one that we saw, my girlfriend and I both saw a video on TikTok that was horror movie recommendations, and this is one of the ones that was on there. We ended up finding it on Shudder, I think. I think it was on Shudder, and giving it a watch. I don't know what the hell we watched, honestly. I gave it 2 stars. It was I don't know. For 1990, I expected a lot more in the if it had taken place in, early to mid 80s, I could have given it a little bit more of leniency than I did. But for 1990, I don't know. I expected more with the writing, the acting, the effects, just everything about it. It just it wasn't all that great, honestly. And that was one of those that I think my girlfriend and I enjoyed, mostly just making fun of it the whole time. So next up, we watched the entire second season of Creepshow, the TV show on Shudder, exclusively on Shudder, and really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this season a lot. Not that I didn't enjoy season 1. Season 1 was good too. My biggest gripe with season 1 is that all the stories were really good, but the ending was very lackluster. It was very underwhelming. This time, however, I think that they really honed the writing or something. They did a much better job. The stories are really good. The endings are really good and everything. And I think that's just kind of the nature of the beast, because Tales from the Crypt, another one of those, like, the stories are really good, and often the ending is lackluster, underwhelming. But really, we both really enjoyed season 2 of Creepshow and cannot wait for season 3. Next up, we have I have a rewatch from 2009, I Love You Man, starring Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. I love this movie so much. This is one that the first time I saw it, I absolutely loved it. I love the chemistry between Paul Rudd and Jason Segel, and I love both of those guys, independently of each other. I think they're both awesome, and this movie is just, it's so good. I think the 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 movie itself, the story itself, is not incredible by any means, but I think the chemistry of everyone is really what makes it. Paul Rudd and Jason Segel, of course. We've got what's her name? Rashida. I can't remember her last name now. From Parks and Recreation, Rashida Jones, is it? That plays Paul Rudd's wife. We have, oh my God, Jon Favreau stars in it as well, and he's an absolute asshole. He is he is such a douchebag in that movie. But everybody's chemistry is just really, really good. Jamie Presley is his wife in the movie. So I think the main thing is just like the chemistry of everyone is just really, really good. But I absolutely, I love that movie a lot. 4.5 stars is what I gave it on Letterboxd. But yeah, that one, I have a fondness for that one for sure. All right, next we have I have another rewatch for you, and it is 2004 Euro Trip. This movie has gotten a lot more love, or at least the song from the movie, Scotty Doesn't Know, because of TikTok. I don't know if, I don't know how many people actually know the movie or know that that's from the movie or whatever, but, so, ended up rewatching that one. I love that one as well. Gave it a 3.5 stars. It's not the best movie. It's got some really memorable, funny parts in it. It's got a pretty good cast, and everything. So, next. All right, here we go. Next up, we watched not only the original 1995 Castle Freak, my girlfriend and I, we also watched the new 2020 Castle Freak from Fangoria. The original Castle Freak was actually pretty good. I was really surprised. I like the Reanimator, kind of connection to it. For 95, I thought it was really, really good. It had a pretty good story. It wasn't all just, kind of horror and everything like that. It's as far as like just, kills and everything. It was actually pretty good. It had a pretty good story. Not perfect by any means, but I really did enjoy it a lot. And then we watched the remake. That movie shouldn't have been made. There's very little resemblance between the 2020 Castle Freak and the original. There was a lot that was just unnecessary in that movie that the original movie didn't need to have. There was a lot of sexual stuff. There was a lot more gore and unnecessary, just kind of gross out effects and stuff that didn't need to be there, that the original didn't need, and it was still good because it had a good story and good acting. There's some stuff that they changed that didn't need to really be changed. It didn't need to be made. I think that they could have, I think it would have been great had they basically just modernized it, maybe tweaked a couple of things. I can't think of them right off the top of my head because it's been a while since I watched the original movie, that I would have changed or whatever. But yeah, the 2020 Castle Freak is not good. It is not good. It suffers from a lot of, I think, what kind of modern horror audiences are expecting whenever they watch a horror movie. A lot of like sex and violence and, or not necessarily violence, but gore, and that's just not always necessary. And this is coming from someone that I like Saw. I like the Saw series. I like Hostel. But there was just certain things that Fangoria did in the remake that just didn't need to be done. And if you would like a more, once I have a laptop and I'm able to do some editing and stuff like that, if you would like a proper review and comparison of the two, I would be glad to do that. All right. Then next up we've got Army of the Dead from 2021. Now this one was the big one of the month for sure. Everybody was talking about this movie. Netflix original, or was it original? I think it's a Netflix original. Anyway, Dave Bautista. My girlfriend and I, we both loved this movie. Directed by Zack Snyder, and we were excited because Zack Snyder's directorial debut was with the 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake, which we absolutely love. That's one of my all-time favorites for sure. I love that movie. So we were excited that he was going to be doing another zombie movie, coming off the heels of the Justice League Snyder cut and everyone praising him and everything like that. I'm sure only helped. But this movie was good. Was it perfect? No. But we both really enjoyed it. There was that one character, the daughter. She was just a wrench in the cogs, wasn't she? But yeah, we both enjoyed it a lot. I ended up giving it. Oh, I forgot. With Castle Freak 1995, I gave it 3.5 stars, and with the 2020, I gave it 1 star. But with the Army of the Dead, I gave it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it a lot. The ending was sort of what I was expecting to happen. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, we both really enjoyed it, and I know that they're planning a prequel coming up and some other stuff. Like, they're apparently planning on really kind of expanding on this movie, and basically being a whole kind of universe thing. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I don't really think there's really much to go into there, but we'll see. All right. We're almost done here. Almost. All right. Another new watch for me from 2000, Unbreakable. M. Night Shyamalan's superhero movie. This movie, and I paused because I realized I might have just given a spoiler, and I apologize. But I mean, it's 20 years old at this point, so it's fine. This movie is pretty good. Bruce Willis is in it. Samuel L. Jackson is in it. Like I said, directed. I think it's written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, which I am a fan of. I know that it seems like he is either people love him or they hate him. I really like M. Night Shyamalan, and I liked this movie. I thought it was it was nice to see it was refreshing, especially in this era of all the superhero movies, TV shows, and everything like that that are very over the top and everything, to kind of see a more realistic, gritty type superhero movie. And I really enjoyed this one a lot. I liked it. I gave it a 3. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. Would I watch it again? I'm not really sure if I'd watch it again. I want to say that I will, just because it's Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson and M. Night Shyamalan. So, but wanted to watch that because I want to also watch Split, and I want to watch Glass. So, because I hear those are both really good as well. And the last thing that I watched for the month of May 2021 was not a movie. It was a TV show. I ended up watching the A&E documentary of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Even though I already knew everything, other than there was a couple of tidbits about his kids and the relationship with his kids and everything like that at the end, I already knew everything. Because I've watched every documentary that they put out of Stone Cold Steve Austin over the years. He is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. So whenever they announced that this was going to be coming, I wanted to watch it, and it didn't disappoint. It was a good movie, or good documentary. I got emotional at a couple parts, especially the part talking about his last match against The Rock, and everything, and the friendship, the whatever you want to call it there, between he and The Rock was really that got me. But it was like I said, nothing really new that I didn't know previously. Sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts. It's hard to do this in all just like one shot without doing any kind of editing or what have you. But yeah, it was really good. Really enjoyed it. My girlfriend watched it with me. She is not a wrestling fan. She grew up during the era when the WWF was big, and you couldn't turn around without hearing about Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, whatever. So like she saw stuff in passing, but it was cool that she actually sat down and watched it with me and learned like all this stuff was new to her, and I was kind of just refreshing my my memory. All right, well, that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed me talking about what I watched in May of 2021. Like I said, hopefully with my laptop coming, I'm gonna be able to do some better videos, editing, and what have you. Maybe doing some some special things and everything. But since it's almost August, I wanted to go ahead and kind of go ahead and get May out of the way. And so if you enjoyed this, like I said, if you would like to see a more comprehensive review of Castle Freak, original and versus comparison kind of thing, let me know. I'd be glad to do that. I think it'd be fun. That probably mean I had to rewatch the remake, but so be it. But that is gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me the thumbs up, and let me know your opinions. Have you seen any of these movies? Are there any now that I've talked about them that you're going to see? You're gonna go seek out and watch now. Any of your comments, questions, any of that good stuff, go ahead and drop it down. And subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.